My name's Faye Jackson and I run my own business. I'm the CEO of my own company called Vision in Mind, and I deliver education and training in mental health in the workplace. I'm a grandmother of two beautiful little boys and a mother of two adult daughters. I've been married to my husband George for 30 years. And very much in love, and I have a good life. I first became unwell when I was 10 with depression, but I wasn't diagnosed with bipolar until I was 37 years of age. And when I was diagnosed with it, I actually passed out. It really knocked me over. I felt so much self-stigma about having a mental illness. Before I was diagnosed, I was, called schizo, crazy, Fruit Loop, kangaroo loose in the top paddock, all of that kind of thing. You're labelled and you're ostracised from schools, from workplaces, from the community. In the small town that I lived in, I had a reputation as being a witch. I felt really angry and really ostracised and very sad. Where did I belong? I have a side effect of my medication. I take lithium. So I get the shakes. This is my lithium tremor. But lithium's a friendly drug. It waves, makes a good cup of tea, good martini. You got to make a joke of it because you've got to live with it somehow. But if I go for a job interview and I, pick up a glass of water to try and have a drink, it looks like I'm extremely nervous. There's a big question. Do I expose myself and say, I'm not nervous, I've got bipolar disorder? Or do I let them continue thinking that I'm really nervous? It's very difficult to say. I got a part-time job 2 days a week working as a consumer advocate in a mental health service. I got the job because I had mental illness, which was pretty fantastic. I remember ringing my mum and saying, Mum, I've got this job. And she said, how'd you get that, darling? And I said, because I've got mental illness. And she went, what's the world coming to? So I was really excited about it. And I was promoted into a position of being a director. I had one person who was a carer, but the rest of my staff had mental illness. So I had mental illness myself, managing a staff of people that had mental illness. And it was great because we were able to support each other, have understanding of where each other was coming from. And sometimes I had to make really simple workplace adjustments for my staff. And that was okay. Nowhere near as such difficult adjustments as if a person is in a wheelchair or something, but workplaces seem so capable or so willing to make adjustments for people who need to be in wheelchairs, but seem so unwilling to make adjustments for people that have mental illness. It's not easy at times. In fact, I was very unwell again recently, but I only took the same amount of time off work that somebody might do if they have a bad flu. There are some studies that show that people who have mental illness, who are known to have mental illness by their employers, take actually less time off work than people who don't have mental illness. And if they have an employer who's supportive of them, then they feel very loyal to that employer. So we're all around good kind of guys to have around, actually. One in 5 people in any 12-month period has a mental illness. In fact, they think it's more like 1 in 3 for youth and 1 in 3 for older people. So there's a very large percentage of the population that has mental illness. Employers have people on their staff that have mental illness that they probably don't even know about. They may suspect, but they don't know about. If they could support them in that, then they'd be having less time off work because they'd be stopping trying to hide it if they were having bad days, They'd come to work and work anyway. And if you're thinking about employing people really you should be employing people that have mental illness as well, because we are great workers. You can rely on us, you know. If you give us that trust, we will give that back to you 100-fold. We are very reliable people and we think outside the square.